I'm sure everybody here remembers Donald Trump's about-face on cannabis this June, around the same time of the first presidential debate with Joe Biden. You know, the one where he offered vague comments seemingly in support of the DEA's efforts to reschedule. And it came as a surprise to just about everybody. Sure, Donald Trump has a proven track record of flip-flopping on just about every relevant issue, from abortion to regulating crypto. But given his recent comments on giving police full immunity and wanting to give drug dealers the death penalty, coming out as pro-cannabis seemed a little different. And not only to Democrats who'd been carrying the torch on rescheduling efforts up to that point, but also the right-wing prohibitionists in his own party. Trump's evolution progressed again late August when he came out to publicly support Florida's Amendment 3 ballot initiative. Sure, his primary rival, Ron DeSantis, was against the measure, which kind of made sense, but Florida's Republican Party was also vehemently against Amendment 3 and made the rare move to publicly rebuke Trump's support of the ballot measure, something that would effectively get them kicked out of the party, nonetheless, in any other instance. So what's really going on behind the whole Trump pro-cannabis movement? Could it be money? Well, the Miami Herald's Ben Weeder, Kevin G. Hall, and Jay Weaver have made a few connections in an expose pretty deep that was published this morning. I say deep, it runs deep. You can grab a link to the original long-form story at high9news.com, which I highly recommend. But for time's sake and to scrub it of any impartiality right before the election, I'm just going to spit the facts here. So the article revealed that Florida, I told you, if you want the pointed language, go to the Miami Herald's version. I'm just going to spit the facts here and let everybody make their own decisions. So the article revealed that Florida-based cannabis tracking company All Leaves, the parent company of BioTrack, has connections to two men penalized for insider trading, Michael Schwartzman and Eric Hanelius. Schwartzman sentenced to over 2 years for securities fraud, and Hanelius who settled an insider trading suit with a civil penalty, were involved in insider trades related to Trump Media and Technology Group merger. Both men were listed as beneficial owners of a subsidiary that acquired BioTrack in 2023. BioTrack holds a state contract to track legal marijuana in Florida, and this connection raises concerns as the contract prohibits individuals with fraud convictions from involvement. Although All Leaves claims neither man is currently active at the company, current records show Hanelius as director in Florida's corporate registry. The Herald's team of investigative journalists found that Schwartzman and Hanelius are both also linked to a pending fraud lawsuit from an Oklahoma bank, which claims that they misrepresented their business's ties to the cannabis industry. Given Trump Media stock price swinging wildly up and down seemed normal, given the company's obvious ties to Trump's wild-ass comments and actions on the campaign trail. But the new information reveals that it's correlating very closely with cannabis stock prices, too. Is this just a coincidence? I do not know. I'm just reporting on an article on this lovely Friday morning by the Miami Herald, inviting me to follow the money and inviting you to do the same. Interesting times indeed. I'm Rico Lamitte, the dopest dad on the street for High 9 News, and I did not shade one way or the other on that article. Inviting you guys to do the same.
So break it down in layman's terms, Rico. What you're saying is happening.
Two fraudsters connected to Trump and Trump Media bought BioTrack last year, and then when it was complete, Trump's stock started correlating with the cannabis industry. Right after that, Trump started being pro-cannabis.
So you're saying that Trump stock going down turned him pro-cannabis?
I did not say that.
Well, you compared his stock to the cannabis industry, and cannabis stocks they don't do anything but tank.
These guys IPO'd Trump Media, and they are fraudsters. They have done time for fraud, SEC crime. They're tied to a bunch of other stuff, and it seemed out of left field when Trump started supporting cannabis when everybody in his party did not. All of a sudden,
I wouldn't say everybody in his party, because that's not true. That's a very vaguity.
All of a sudden, Trump stock started to correlate with major cannabis stocks as well.
I'm not sure why anyone would want to buy BioTrack in the first place. I mean, they pretty much only have Florida.
I mean, are you deflecting? I'm just saying.
No, I'm just making a statement. It's all involved in the whole story.
The Miami Herald is making this connection here, and I'm inviting you to talk about the connection.
I think it's a whole bunch of BS.
Okay,
that's what I think. But I know you two, you three have all kinds of opinions. So I'd love to hear what you guys think, because you guys come up with the wildest things anyway. So I want to hear how wild you guys want to get with this.
I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of smoke here.
I think Rico's just saying follow the money.
I'm all about following the money. I'm all about that. Follow it all the way to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah. Pro cannabis, all right.
That's right. Pro cannabis. That's right, bro. 100%.
I too am pro cannabis.
See, look at that. You. What
do you America stoned again?
Anybody want to touch this one?
Go for it, Matthew. I know Matthew and Dr. Mark have something they both want to say in regards to this.
I'm just enjoying watching Rico run the rotisserie on it right now. He's just cooking it up.
He's basting.
Yep.
Free basting.
Rico.
Dr. Mark, it looks like you're biting your tongue right now.
I'm just thinking that, BioTrack has really limited market share. And like, how many other competitive platforms are there? Like, there's MJ Freeway, BioTrack.
But they are
and Metric. And Metric.
Metric, right? Yeah. Is Metric Metric itself is a brand? They have a branded product.
Yeah, Metric is a brand. Yeah, it's a private company.
Yeah.
Metric is the largest track and trace in the country.
But BioTrack does Florida and New York. They have the state track and trace contract.
Yeah. So is there anybody else who thinks, again, these things are overkill? I mean, they're just that whole,
I agree with that. Yeah, it's all pointless. It's all the most dumbest shit ever.
They're trash.
Yeah, I mean, do they do seed to sale tracking in soybeans, or do they do seed to sale tracking?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do to some degree, because when there's different contaminations in food or whatnot, and they do recalls and they find the farm. So like there is to some degree, but not anywhere close to what we deal with within cannabis, Dr. Mark.
Monsanto used to.
Specific to agriculture.
I was going to say that, Rico.
Hold on, let Dr. Mark speak.
Yeah. So specific to agriculture, when you drive by a field of corn, and it's a large industrial farm, not just some guy down the road, they'll have a sign and it'll say ConAgra, and there'll be a barcode underneath, and what that means is that seed line is in that field, and that could be a genetically engineered crop. And so in agriculture, there's a lot of systems that are in place to control what is genetically modified crops, what are not. Also, I guess one of the things that, is certainly, abound is that when you have agriculture and food, for example, just as a convenient thing, we grow crops, we put crops into food products that then people consume. So if you just put cannabis over the top of that, we grow cannabis, we put cannabis products on shelves that have to be tested, and certainly there's a certain amount of regulation that has to happen there. But this whole notion of seed to sale tracking, isn't that just an artifact of prohibition and making sure that you're not sending pounds out the back door, or you're not getting pounds in the back door?
It definitely doesn't work that well, because there's plenty of pounds that go out the back door on track and trace.
Right. So
no way, bro. Come on.
My bottom line for these businesses, what the fuck, right? So I mean, do they really have a sustainability where prohibition goes away if there's already systems that are in place to look at genetically modified crop, non-genetically modified, maybe like the tracking that goes on in the agricultural business today will kind of supersede anything that these seed to sale tracking things are only going to be around as long as prohibition's in place. Prohibition goes away, these businesses are bankrupt, right?
No, because just because prohibition goes away doesn't mean that these things are already put in by a regulatory thing. So you would have to have a regulatory change in order to remove them. And
they're making money.
I don't see that. They lobby very, very heavily. I mean, they got a California contract pretty much with no other competitors, even being able to really compete, because there were competitors and they didn't even, the state of California didn't even take them seriously. And there's some lawsuits going on with that.
And that aspect of it, Jason, I don't like at all, right? Because that's not free market economy. It always seems like there's some backdoor deal between the regulatory boards and these. Yep.
There's definitely some backdoor deals for sure with
right, and they kind of get together, and all of a sudden, all the competition's wiped out because some guy got the right number of bends put into his pocket, right?
Oh, the right number of bends. I see what you did there. Look at that.
Yeah. Kind of like the whole point of this whole story, right? You know, so it sounds like somebody's getting.
Here we go.
Some backdoor. I'm just saying, somebody's getting some backdoor funds.
Oh, look at Jenny. Jenny's joining us. Jenny, what do you think about this?
Yeah, you knocked me back into the green screen. What the fuck, Jenny? Beth?
She knocked you.
How seamless. I was about to say how seamless that transition was, because I was like, oh, it popped up, everything's fine. I got my whole head here, everything. I'm attached. I don't have Mathieu St. Germain's titties. Like, this worked out really well this time.
Titties.
Oh boy.
Back to the story.
So go give Jenny the synopsis, Rico. I definitely want to hear what Jenny has to say about this.
I'll be pretty quick. I gotta hop at 10 today, so I'll be really quick with this one. So, Miami Herald did an expose tying two fraudulent gentlemen who have been sanctioned by the CC in the past. They are listed as controllers at All Leaves, who bought BioTrack at the end of last year. BioTrack obviously has the state contract for Florida, and it seems to be that Trump Media, which the two are also controllers of, Trump Media is closely correlating major moves in the cannabis industry too. So when you're seeing spikes and drops in the in cannabis stocks, they're beginning to correlate with Trump Media. And also they pointed out the fact that Trump came out against for Amendment 3, where the rest of the Republican Party is against it. And
I wouldn't say the rest of the Republican Party. That's not an accurate statement.
The majority.
No, it's not even a majority.
Florida Republicans are.
You can say the governor. You can say the governor of Florida.
Okay, listen, Florida Republicans, the Republican Party of Florida.
There we go. That's fair.
Came out explicitly.
That's fair. That's a fair statement. Much fair.
Let me finish.
I'm just going to keep you honest.
Explicitly against it, and even rebuked Donald Trump's comments supporting it, which we've never heard at all. And I stopped right there, and I invited everybody to read the Miami Herald's version, because I did not want to point people one way or the other. I'm staying neutral until next Wednesday. So
staying neutral.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm going to pick my favorite bit to pick on, and Rico, you'll appreciate it because it's following the money. If you're sanctioned by the SEC, like before you get to a partnership, before you do business with someone, like part of those SEC sanctions are that you are never to touch, breathe on, look at, or deal with another fucking stock holding company ever again. So like I have a lot of experience in this, because I had to get somebody out of a predatory partnership with just one of those people. And I've spent my last year and a half in a $2.5 million lawsuit about it. If you want to Google it, you can. But these people shouldn't be anywhere near this industry. They just absolutely shouldn't. They shouldn't be near any industry. But I think that it's so easy for these predators to come into cannabis because, one, a lot of people still, unfortunately, don't take us seriously as an industry, so they can slither in and sleep right under the radar, right? So, yeah, that's more of the same. But you guys really need to be careful and Google the histories of the people that you're considering doing business with, that you're considering buying biz, buy, sell stocks from, that you're considering, partnering with. So these people have no business here, and I'm gonna leave it there.
Fair enough. And on that, we're gonna go to a commercial, and we're gonna be right back.